Apple is one of the most successful companies of all time, and at the heart of its success is a brilliant marketing machine. In fact, Steve Jobs was more of a marketing genius than anything else. That's why there is a lot to be learned from Apple when it comes to branding and positioning. Starting with the brand elements, Apple is known for its minimalism and for being very subtle when it comes to marketing. It has a simple, one-word brand name that's easy to pronounce and understood by everyone, with no negative associations across different cultures. A simple logo that's coherent with the brand name, the Apple, and has been pretty much consistent since 1977, except for color changes to make it even more subtle. As for the typography, Apple uses a modified Myriad font, which is a simple sans serif typeface, which is a letter form that doesn't have the extending features called serifs. These type forms are used to convey simplicity, which is again what Apple is all about. When Apple first came out with the Macintosh, the key point of difference was its simplicity and user-friendliness, unlike other computers at that time. And over the years, Apple has continued to stress on such simplicity and user-friendliness in its products. Apple products are positioned to revolve around you as a user, and we are going to explain this now. If you look at Apple's Instagram, the first thing you see is a tagline that says what? Apple makes the best phones and computers? No. It says everyone has a story to tell. Tag shot on iPhone to take part. In other words, it's saying we want you, the user, to tell your stories through the power of our products. And then when you scroll down, do you see endless pictures of MacBooks, iPhones, and iPads? No. You see pictures of people like you and me, the users, telling you that these nice pictures have been shot on iPhone. And you, the user, can produce the same images using our products. It does this on Instagram because Instagram is a photo app. So Apple's strategy is to show you as an Instagram user how you can take better pictures using the iPhone. Apple doesn't engage in straight, in-your-face product marketing on social media. In fact, in its very strict brand guidelines document for its resellers, and by the way, I encourage you to read this document and we'll leave a link to it in the attachment. In this document, Apple tells its resellers not to post product pictures on social media, and if they want to do paid advertisement, they need to stick to the provided guidelines in the product asset kit. If you go to Facebook, you will find that Apple only changes its cover image every once in a while and doesn't post anything else. If you go to Twitter, you will find that Apple hasn't tweeted anything, because why should it? What I want to say is, Apple's branding strategy is not to bombard people with its products everywhere and take strict selling approach. Instead, Apple uses a pull or inbound marketing strategy that pulls customers towards its brand by showing them how its products can be useful for their lives. And it strategically uses only the right marketing channels to do so. And this is another lesson to be learned from Apple, that you don't need to stretch yourself over all social media channels to market your brand, but rather stay strategic in choosing the right channels and stick to them. So when it comes to product launches and detailed features, you will find that Apple mainly uses YouTube for this purpose. Because in the customer buying journey for tech gadgets, people turn to YouTube as a source of information when they are in the evaluating alternatives stage. For more information about this journey, please refer to our consumer behavior course. Consumers use YouTube to watch product reviews, unboxing videos, and detailed features and benefits of each alternative. So Apple meets them at this channel with its product videos and tutorials and reasons why they should choose Apple over the other alternatives by showing them Apple's points of difference. For example, you will find a video on switching to iPhone, and it explicitly says that this video answered the most searched questions Android users ask before switching to iPhone. Another strategy Apple uses for branding and positioning is product placement in movies and TV shows. A lot of the recent Apple TV shows highlight Apple brand and products in different scenes, although they are still to be considered very subtle as expected from Apple. It comes in different ways, such as the product itself, the signature sound of Apple product when it rings for notification, mention of Apple as a company, for example, by saying I want to remind myself to buy Apple stock, and using one of Apple products' functionalities, such as FaceTime. In fact, Apple has been doing this for many years by partnering with movie producers and giving them free Apple products to place in their movies. However, such tactic also comes with very strict guidelines from Apple, because as we explained before, brand associations are critical and could be dangerous for the brand if the association is negative. So Apple avoids this by setting strict guidelines for the use of its products in movies or shows. For example, bad guys are not allowed to use iPhone, noted one movie director. Also, this report from Wall Street Journal noticed that this character in Mythic Quest is only seen using unbranded MacBook. I'm going to leave a link to this report in the attachment. Finally, another way Apple does branding and positioning is through its network of brick-and-mortar stores. If Apple wanted to sell its products only online or through its resellers, it could. And yet Apple invested in a large network of retail stores for many reasons. And one of those reasons is branding and positioning. And this is not done by the competition of Apple. Not only is this done through choosing prominent locations and building stores that make a clear statement and showcase the brand image, but what I want to highlight here is the role of the store to convey the message of how Apple is centered around its users. Apple uses its stores to build and connect a community of users and get them attached to the Apple brand. It understands that different people have different uses for Apple products and has created events and training sessions around those interests and uses. For example, there are video sessions, photography sessions, coding sessions, and even meditation and social sessions. The goal is to build an emotional connection between Apple and its users by showing them that Apple cares about what interests them and wants to play a part in making their lives easier, enjoyable, and more productive. Such user-centered approach and focus is a key pillar in Apple's branding and positioning strategy. Starting from the early days of making a product that's user-friendly and staying user-focused over the years by building products that consumers didn't even know they needed until they were built by Apple, to a consistent social media strategy that has the users at its center and a retail strategy that focuses on connecting with and empowering users through the stores. And finally, by making sure that product decisions are always for the benefit of the users and not only the business. For example, in a time when tech companies have made people's data their main product, Apple came out with the privacy campaign, saying, "We are in the business of staying out of yours." Such user-centered branding and positioning conveys the message of, "We care about you, your interests, your hobbies, and even your privacy, and that's why you should choose us." So no wonder that when Apple hints at producing an Apple car, that people would already be interested without even seeing the products, because the connection has been built and nurtured over the year, and the priorities have been clear that they are always in the user's favor. This brings us to the end of this course on branding and positioning. Thank you very much, and see you next time.